have been watching the election and I just wanted to come to you guys. And I was like, I really find it interesting. And I'm in Australia, no shade. But I really find it interesting, the voting process. And I think it's really in the collective showing where people's perspectives and perceptions are coming from. And I think, really those of you that have been doing work on yourself, be super, super proud of yourself. Please don't be scared. But it's very interesting to see where people's perspectives are at. And I think it's due to fair base frequency. So if you guys are freaking out over there, my love is with you. If you're looking at the situation and going, what on earth is happening? Again, remember, we have Mercury in Scorpio, okay? I've looked at Donald Trump's, I've listened to the Leo King, I have a separate energy. Obviously, I'm not in your country, but believe me, I do love you guys so, so very much. And trust that not all that is shown is correct right now, okay? I'm finding it really baffling. I mean, look, but you've got to look at conditioning. Our conditioning and inner child healing, because we had the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, it is because we are having that purgatory experience connected to paradigms. As I mentioned, please be on guard. There could be riots. It will show the truth and the polarity, and I really think that people will speak. And I really, like I said, my love and thoughts are with you guys. Remember, what you say and how you feel is important, and it does matter. And all of you over there really do matter to me. It affects everyone. It really does. I mean, I've been watching all day. I didn't really want to do any YouTube updates with zodiac signs, twin flames, because this is a massive change that, the whole world's going through, because we had the conjunction at the beginning of the year. It really does affect all of us. We're worried about our finances. We're worried about our safety and our well-being. And I think, like I said, my love and thoughts are with you guys. But don't think that you guys don't matter, and don't think that the way you feel about situations does not count. It is a pivotal point in society. Mercury is stationary, okay? It's ironic that during this time, it's almost like there's disputes connected to taking it to court, having disputes. Let it ride out. Don't base everything on truth at the moment. It'll be a battle to the tooth. I mean, as I mentioned, on the 9th, Mars and Venus is making a very gnarly aspect. I mean, our connections, marriages, contracts, partnerships is coming up. So don't be surprised if it does go further. As I mentioned in the brief on Instagram, I did a quickie because obviously we're quite censored, and I do need to be disconcerting towards, your censoring and things to that degree. But I have done one on Instagram, and it was connected to the 5th. And even to the 5th, we're having quincunxing energies, and it's really looking quite gnarly in effect. So riots and things to that degree may come up, but don't cement it, guys. Don't think in your minds that it is what it is. Remember, Scorpio hides things, and I just think, look, you guys are having a Pluto return. Hi, Deb. Pluto return is birth, deaths, endings. It's quincunxing Jupiter. It's quincunxing Venus and Libra. So the way I'm physically seeing it is the people are really speaking and saying, we're not happy with this. So what's coming up is that if there's shade, I'm being careful here, it's going to be shown, because people will be either, look, there's 50-50. So the way I'll say it is, if people are really thinking that their safety in a person that they feel has been there for a while is correct, it's so, but it's due to fair base frequency. It doesn't mean it's better for you guys, okay? If people have really showed up, be super proud of each other, love and support each other. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Look, we need people moving forward in life that are going to love us for who we are. We need people that are going to respect culture. We need people that other countries can work with, that we know that that person's going to show up for us, that isn't race orientated. And that's what I'm going to say. That's the way I see life. I mean, I'm multicultural. I'm very open. I mean, I'd be a terrible president, obviously, because I'm too fair. I'm Libra. I got, my moon is in Cancer, and I care about people. I care about the bigger picture. Sometimes, in truth, The biggest thing that is the hardest thing is we're so scared. And I brought this up. I mean, when I tune in psychically, I tune into the past, I tune into the present, I tune into the energy we're in. And I think a lot of times, gurus and things to that degree talk about living in the moment. And in the moment of where we are, there is imbalances. We have imbalances in society, we have imbalances in finances. We have health we're looking at, we have welfare, we have planetary subjects coming up that need to be addressed. Obama started this. But the thing is, change means getting out of our comfort zone, guys. It means actually addressing these things in the house that are really gnarly in subject matter, that are just sticky in conversation to get to. Laws to do with schools and things that are happening collectively. We're having it all over the world. It's looking at the bigger picture of it's not paradigm, okay? Look, if we were to be honest, so many times we shade presidents. There's not one human being on the planet that's perfect. And it's so hidden, right? It's so very hidden. If we realised what president in the world has ever been there, that dirt has not been dug up on them. Nobody in this world's perfect, but how do they run that country? That's what counts. I think that's the way we've got to look at it. We're going to shred it back. We're going to look at our own backyards and go, okay, if that responsibility was on my shoulders, the cleanup effect, whoever gets in, is going to be massive. Massive. I mean, the whole globe collectively has a huge financial issue. And all of us, even as people, do have a huge responsibility where we can't just shift the buck onto government. We do now, in this situation, have to look at the reality of we have hands. What can we do? Okay, what can we do to make our lives better? We can put smiles on our face. We can be respectful to the people that are around us. We can look at how we can provide for ourselves and how we can support people. Riots won't happen. Riots will happen, but I mean, riots aren't going to benefit anything, okay? It's how we can love each other, how we can support each other, and how we can look at this. No matter what, there's light and dark in any situation. It's how we can get through this and get to that other side. Does that make sense? Yeah, well, Mars is retrograde. Aries and Chiron is retrograde, so yes, they could be. And you won't know for weeks, I'll be honest with you, even if this dispute goes further, because Mercury is stationary, it's very aggressive. It's like nobody knows what's going on. Egoically, we might, but you won't. Scorpio energy is hidden. It's what needs to come to light, what needs to change, what systems, It's interesting that the election is happening during a Mercury stationary in Scorpio. And with Libra being with Venus being in Libra, wanting justice, wanting balance, all those subjects with the shadow energy, are we voting from a perspective of fair base frequency? Potentially, yes, and that can be diabolical. Because if we're scared and we feel disempowered, we're more likely, it's a bit like going shopping. And they always say, don't go shopping when you're hungry. Why? Because you buy more, right? And you eat more. It's similar, okay? We've got Aries and Chiron retrograde. We've got Mars retrograde. We're tired. We're aggravated. We're looking at things. We're triggered. We've had a hell of a year. We've had 2.5 years of the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn. We're seeing different people's perspectives. We got the energy in Scorpio. We're embarrassed to say our truth. And with Jupiter and Saturn moving into Aquarius, although we're saying it's great, I've had a lot of downloads that are talking about tribe, and sometimes we can feel very disconnected from tribe where maybe people won't understand or respect our viewpoint. And I mean no disrespect by any means. I have lived a very interesting life and I try to grow from it. I'm a multicultural person. I look white. I'm actually multicultural. I love every country equally. I really do. I have a lot of multicultural friends and I do care about people point blank zero. And it's the bigger picture in mind that we need to look at. The environment, no matter where you are in the world, you matter. No matter who you are, rich or poor, your sickness, how you're traveling, how you're doing, that counts. And that counts to me. So, if I ever upset you, please do not take it the wrong way. We all have a perspective in life, and we're coming from different backgrounds. We're coming from experiences. But I just hope that you guys keep as grounded as possible. Please keep safe. I am thinking about you. If I haven't come to you live, it's out of respect, because I know that this is a very important transition for your country. You're having a Pluto return. Keep grounded. Wait for the counts to come through. Do expect in the next 2 weeks it will be up and down changes. And don't think everything's cemented, because we do have the Scorpionic energy, which is quite hidden, shady energy. Wow. I'm feeling you guys. I would love to hear your feedback. If you voted for Trump, what are your feelings on it, and why do you feel you voted? Is it based on the fact that you feel he's a great businessman? Is it because you feel it's safer due to what's going on? What perspective do you have? What do you feel connected to Biden? I would love to hear your views. Not from a gnarly point of view, because this is not meant to be by any shape shading either side. I do not wish that. I want to see people's perspectives from a healing point of view and a perspective point of view, because your voice does count. It does matter. And a lot of times we could have had, different backgrounds where, it could be from a spiritual point of view or a religious point of view that we have a perspective and we want to feel safe. But, please never be scared of change. Change is what makes the difference. So 9 times out of 10, we're living in the past due to past fears, and we're scared that the future will be so different that it's safer to stay with the known. I mean, we stay in relationships for those reasons. I did not vote neither. Really, but your vote counts. It's a moment of change, sweet. Voices count. There's always no decision is a decision, and it still will affect you. The vote for Trump is a vote to save the USA from the world from. Yeah, but the funny thing is, from an astrological point of view, did you know, just looking at astrology, Donald Trump has, with the placements, he's having nodal return. And do you know, from a nodal return perspective, you're needing to move towards the Gemini energy, which is the people. And that's accepting multicultural energy. And he's actually not. And it's getting down to the people, hearing what their needs are, thinking about it. It's so crazy. My partner and I, we've had disputes over politics and things. And my mother always taught me never to get into politics. It's looking at the bigger picture, not just what the safe bet would be. The long distance. I mean, Obama, to me, had massive things he wanted to do and he wanted to change. But, we get conditioned. We get very comfortable. And sometimes that's a bit scary to have those things happen. I'm scared because the current president went on a call for. How is that even legal? I want to ask. I don't understand that. I mean, to my understanding in this position in society, there's a natural way protocol occurs. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. Are we above the law? I mean, as human beings, are we above the law? I did not think we were above the law. I mean, does it not stand either way? Probably going to get myself in trouble for this. I'm going to be a good girl. If Trump wins, look, obviously, in reality, this is the reality, right? I wrote a statement on Facebook to do with life, and it was just my perspective on life. And, it's like we always want to hold on to that steering wheel so tight. And the one thing we do have when we're driving from a Mercury retrograde point of view, right, is that we have our cognitive ability, we have the steering wheel, we have that one moment. Everything outside of that, we have absolutely no control over. It's ego. Now, being prepared, being educated, seeing what we have in our control is our control. Everything outside of that is not. Now, when we fixate on that, we're actually more operating from the past than being allowing to transformation and change. And transformation and change in this society is necessary. But it goes to everyone. No matter who you get in Isidore, it's going to happen. What's going to happen at the moment is nodes in Cancer and Capricorn, right? We have been codependent on the government for a long time. The nodes have moved into Sagittarius, which is Jupiter energy of growth, and Gemini. Gemini is you're stuck locally. It could be it's upgrading, it's education, it's technology. What are we doing? We're at home, we're talking to people, right? Like this. Stuck, lockdown energy. We were initially with the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. You move away from the South Node, you move to the North of Capricorn, being codependent on the government. We have been codependent on the government for years. We have had voices where we never used it. Why? Because there would be accountability. There's rules and regulations, a bit like ants and the bees, where we follow these protocols. Yet we always have had a responsibility that if we have seen something that has been incorrect, it has been and always has been our responsibility to speak up and say it's incorrect. And I don't mean aggressively, I mean logically. Logically. We're human beings. We have heart. We have, if we see that there's rubbish on the side of the road, it is our role to pick it up. If we see somebody is getting hurt, I mean, I was living in London years ago, and it was foreign to me. You know, I lived in New Zealand. We had Maoris going to school with us. I came to Australia. No Aboriginals went to school with me. It hurt me. It was strange. It was different. Why? Because of my conditioning. I went to Cyprus. I saw culture there, which was so loving and understanding. I lived in London, and again, I saw interesting culture there. And there's nothing that I hate, right? But it was just different. It transformed me. There was a time I was over there and people were so desensitized at a point. There was a person getting attacked in the streets, and I would have been 12 years old, and I was looking at it. And even when I went to the petrol station, there was a real horrendous situation that was occurring in front of my eyes. And in any other society, you would have been calling for help. And because people were so afraid of what that consequence was, they walked like nothing was happening. It baffled me. I was 12. Why? Because people were so scared, because they were so, and I'm not shading, I'm looking at conditioning. They were so afraid of what the consequence for themselves would be, they didn't think about the other person. We can't do that. We just can't do that. I mean, there's times that I've worked in the care industry and I have gone absolutely above and beyond. Was it correct? No. But, and that's from a standpoint of where the healthy boundary was, but from a humanistic experience, it felt incorrect by society's standards. I could not let that person go without. It did not feel correct by my integrity. We have integrity. We're humans. We have to do what's correct. Yeah. Don't hate each other if you have a perspective. Love each other. Yeah. Just always love each other. We all have our life. We all have our belief systems. There's nothing but love in this house. It's my path that I've walked, and it's my perspective. Doesn't mean it's right. You know, I really am thinking about you guys a lot. All my love, honestly, is totally to you guys. It's been a hectic few years. It's been hell for all of us in the world. You know, we want our children to actually have something to have faith in. We don't want to live in fear. We want to live in a belief system where we can give to our kids, where there's a clean planet, where there's food and water for them, where they can have hopes and dreams. And it's not about money, and it's not about race. It's about something to move forward to. Yeah. We do all go one way. You know, and money's changing. Yeah, but every leader, Isidore, has got the same benefits. It's more the separate energy of what you think that person's ability is. Look, I'll honestly say, separately away from each human. If I was to just look at the astrology in Baden's chart is a person that is going to have your back. You know, you can't judge a book by its cover. I have no hate towards the other. The energy of the placements in the astrology have caused dramas for him. He's very tired. And I wish each luck, and I wish the country the best moving forward. I really do. From an astrological point of view, it's interesting. It's just very interesting to see people's perspectives. You know, we're not bad people. We have situations that happen to us, and we have, you know, ways we directly deal with them. We will never be able to go back to the way things were. Too much has changed. The economy has changed. We spiritually have changed because of what we've all endured. I mean, can you imagine what Christmas is going to be like? I've taken breaks off social media because I need to be present in this moment. This space in my life is my life. I don't feel it's going to serve the purpose to look at how many people are dying. I can't change that. By the direct actions I take, by washing my hands, protecting myself, sending love, and taking accountability with what's in my control. That's what I have in my control. But when you look at it at the end of this year, it's really going to challenge us. It's going to be a very, very different end of year. It's going to be gratitude to the fact that we've made it this far. Sadness to the people that have lost their families, that have really suffered through this pandemic. Proudness that we've made it this far, and fatigue, deep fatigue. But I just want to say my love is with you guys. I'll check in with you tomorrow. I'll come to you guys live again tomorrow. Keep grounded. Please keep safe. I love you all, no matter what you've voted. I really do. I'm really thinking about you, and I hope it all turns out well.